ውድ የዝግጅታችን ተከታታዮች እንኳን ለዳግማዊ ትንሣኤ በሰላም አደረሳችሁ። መቼስ ሳምንቱ ከመብልና ከመጠጥ ያለፈ በራሳችሁ ሕይወት ላይ በቤተሰቦቻችሁ ላይ እና በማህበረሰባችሁ ላይ ከትንሣኤው ጋር የተያያዘ ቁም ነገር እንዳደረጋችሁበት ተስፋ እናደርጋለን። እኛ ከዚህ ሆነን እንግዲህ በተለያዩ የሀገራችን ከተሞችና አካባቢዎች በግለሰብ ደረጃ በቤተክርስቲያን ደረጃ በማህበርም በመሰባሰብ የተለያዩ መልካም ስነ ምግባሮችን ያካሄዳችሁ ሰዎች እና ቡድኖች እንዳላችሁ ለመከታተል ችለናል። ይህም ደግሞ ከተለያዩ ከወንጌል ስርጭት ጋር ተዛማጅነት ያላቸውን ነገሮችን ስታካሂዱ በተለያዩ ሚዲያዎች ስንከታተል በእውነት በጣም ደስ የሚያሰኝና በርቱ የሚያሰኝ ተግባር መሆኑን በዚሁ አጋጣሚ ሳንገልጥላችሁ ማለፍ አንወድም። ስለዚህ በእንደዚህ አይነት ተግባራት ላይ ተሰማራችሁትን በሙሉ እግዚአብሔር ይባርካችሁ እንላችኋለን።
እውነት ነው። የትንሣኤው አንዱ ዓላማ ጌታ ኢየሱስ በትንሣኤው ሞትን ድል አድርጎ እኛንም የትንሣኤው ተካፋዮች እንዳደረገን እኛም በሁለንተናዊ አገልግሎታችን ለሌሎች በይበልጥ የክርስቶስን የማዳን የምስራቹን ቃል ላልሰሙ ትንሣኤውን ልናበስርላቸው ይገባል። የትንሣኤ አንዱ ዓላማው ጌታ ኢየሱስ በትንሣኤው ሞትን ድል አድርጎ እኛንም የትንሣኤው ተካፋዮች እንዳደረገን እኛም በሁለንተናዊ አገልግሎታችን ለሌሎች በይበልጥ የክርስቶስን የማዳን የምስራቹን ቃል ላልሰሙት ወደ ትንሣኤ ጌታ እየጠራን ብርሃን ልንሆንላቸው ይገባናል።
ዛሬ በሚኖረን ዝግጅት በየሁለት ወሩ አንድ ጊዜ በልጆቻችን የሚቀርብላችሁን የእንግሊዘኛ ቋንቋ ዝግጅት ከሚኖረን የአንድ ሰዓት ጊዜ ውስጥ እሱ ሲሆን ጌታ ቢፈቅድና ብንኖር የሚቀጥለው ሳምንት በቤተሰብ እና የትዳር ህይወት ላይ ያተኮረ አንድ ልዩ ዝግጅት ይዘንላችሁ ስለምንቀርብ እሱን በተመለከተ በእናንተ በኩል ስለምትዘጋጁበትና በሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ዝግጅታችን ላይ የእናንተን ተሳትፎ ስለምንፈልግበት ጉዳይ ጥቂት የምንላችሁ ነገር ይኖረናል።
የዚህን የቴሌቪዥን አገልግሎታችንን ከጀመርንበት ጊዜ ማለትም ባለፉት 4 ዓመታት ውስጥ ስለ ፕሮግራማችን ከምትልኩልን አስተያየት ውስጥ በቤተሰብና በትዳር በህይወት ዙሪያ ዝግጅቶችን ወደ እናንተ እንድናቀርብ በተደጋጋሚ ደርሶናል። እኛም ክርስቲያናዊ ቤተሰብንና የትዳርን ህይወት በተመለከተ ከቄስ ትግስቱ ሞገስ ጋር ያካሄድነውን ጠንከር ያለ ውይይት ከሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ጀምሮ እናቀርብላችኋለን። መቼስ ቄስ ትግስቱ ሞገስን ታስታውሱታላችሁ ብለን እንገምታለን።
አዎ፣ ቄስ ትግስቱ ሞገስ በዚህ የቴሌቪዥን አገልግሎታችን ላይ በ2017 የሉቃስን ህይወት በሚገርም መንገድ አካፍሎናል። በአገልግሎቱ ብዙ የተጠቀምንበት ወንድማችን ሲሆን ለኛ ብቻ ሳይሆን በኢትዮጵያም በአውሮፓም እና በዚህም አሜሪካን ሀገር ጌታ አገልግሎቱን በጣም እያሰፋለት ያለ ወንድማችን ነው።
ታዲያ ጌታ ቢፈቅድና ብንኖር የሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ከቄስ ትግስቱ ሞገስ ጋር ስለ ቤተሰብና የትዳር ህይወታችን ያደረግነውን ሰፋ ያለ የውይይት ጊዜ ይዘንላችሁ እንቀርባለን። ባነሳናቸው ነጥቦች ዙሪያ ደግሞ የእናንተን እገዛ የሚጠይቅ ጉዳይ ገጥሞናል። ይህንንም እንደሚከተለው እንገልጽላችኋለን። ከቄስ ትግስቱ ጋር በቤተሰብና በትዳር ህይወታችን ዙሪያ ካነሳናቸው ዋና ከሚባሉ ሐሳቦች አንዱ የሚከተለው ነው።
ትዳር መናጋት የሚጀምረው ለትዳር ጓደኛ በቂ ጊዜ መስጠት ሳንችል ስንቀር፣ ጊዜ ብቻ ሳይሆን በቂ ጊዜ። ስለዚህ ጋዜጣ ይዞ ከጎኑ ከሚስቱ ጎን መቀመጡ አይደለም። ቴሌቪዥን እያየ ሞባይል እያወራ ሳይሆን በሙሉ ልቡ በቂ ጊዜ ለትዳር ጓደኛ ጊዜ የማይሰጠው ከሆነ ሴጣን ያንዣብባል። ስለዚህ ትዳር ገንዘብ አይሞላውም፣ ውበት አይሞላውም። ትዳርን የሚያጠነክረው አንዱ በቂ ጊዜ ለትዳር ጓደኛ መስጠት ይችላል። እና አዳም እንግዲህ በእርግጥ አደራ ተብሏል። አዋፋትን ስም አውጥቷል። በምድር ላይ ኃላፊነት አለበት እና ተፈጥሮን ሁሉ እንዲቆጣጠር ስልጣን አለው። ሆኖም እግዚአብሔር የሰጠው ደግሞ ትዳር የበለጠ ጊዜ ይፈልጋል። ስለዚህ ሲገርዝ ቦይ መስኖ ሲያደርግ እና ሲተክል ሲነቅል ለሚስቱ በቂ ጊዜ አልሰጠምን? ብዙ ምክንያቶች አሉ ላለመስጠቱ፣ በኋላ መመጣበታል። እና ትዳር በአንደኝነት እንዳይናጋ ውበቱ ተጠብቆ እንዲኖር ቤተሰብ እንዲኖር በቂ ጊዜ ያስፈልጋል ማለት ነው። የብዙ ትዳር ሲወድቅ ነው የምናየው። ማዝመም የጀመረው ግን ጊዜ መስጠት ያቆሙት። ልጆችን የሚያሳድገው እንደምታውቁት ቴሌቪዥን ነው፣ ጌም ነው እና ምግብ ከሰጠ ኃላፊነቱን የተወጣ ይመስለዋል። ሚስትም ባለም እንዲሆኑ ልጆች ግን ሞግዚቶች ሆነው የሚያሳድጓቸው ቴክኖሎጂ ነው። በኋላ መመለስ አትችልም እና በአካል በመገኘት ትዳርን ማጠንከር የሚተካው ሌላ ምንም ነገር የለም። እግዚአብሔር የደነገገው አንዱ ለትዳር በቂ ጊዜ መስጠት ነው። ብዙ ባሎች የማይፈለግ ቦታ፣ ብዙ ሚስቶች የማይፈለግ ቦታ ለምን ተገኙ ብለህ ወደኋላ ስታጠነጥነው ታገኘዋለህ። በአንድ ወቅት ወይ በስራ አመካኝቷል፣ ወይ በትርፍ ስራ አመካኝቷል፣ ወይ በትምህርት አመካኝቷል። ለቤተሰቡ በቂ ጊዜ ባልሰጠበት ጊዜ የማይፈለግ ቦታ እንዲገናኙ ይገደዳል። ትዳር የሚጠነክረው ለትዳር ጓደኛ በቂ ጊዜ በመስጠት። ይብን እኔ በህይወት ተምሬያለሁ። ከአገልግሎት ብዛት የተነሳ ለልጆቼ እና ለባለቤቴ በቂ ጊዜ አልሰጥም እና አውቀዋለሁ ትክክል እንዳልሆንኩ፣ ግን እገደዳለሁ። በኋላ ግን እግዚአብሔር በሚያስተምረው አስተማሪ ነው። አሁን ያለኝ ዕውቀት ምን ነው ቀድሜ ባወቅኩ ነበር። ብዙ ቤተክርስቲያን አባቶች ይመክሩኛል፣ ጓደኞቼ ጊዜ ስጥ ይሉኛል። እኔ ግን አገልግሎት መር ነኝ እንጂ ቤተሰብ መር አይደለም። እግዚአብሔርን ደስ ያሰኘው መስሎኝ ብዙ ጊዜ የምሰጠው አገልግሎት ላይ ነው። ቤተሰቤ ግን እንደሚፈልገው መመገብ፣ ለቤተሰቤ ካህን መሆን ኃላፊነት ይመጣው። በኋላ እግዚአብሔር አስተማረኝ። ይብን ቤተሰቤን ይቅርታ እስክጠይቅ ነው ያደረሰኝ። ወደ ኋላ ቆም ብዬ ሳይ ትክክል አይደለም።
የዚህን ሐሳብ ከመነሻው ጀምሮ ያለውን ሙሉን ሐሳብ በሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ትሰሙታላችሁ። ግን ለዛሬ ቅምሻውን ያሰማናችሁ ትልቁ ምክንያት በትዳር ውስጥና በቤተሰብ መካከል ከሚያስፈልጉ ነገሮች ዋነኛው ጊዜን መስጠት የሚለው ሐሳብ ነው። በኢትዮጵያ ሆነ በኤርትራ እንዲሁም በአካባቢያቸው ባሉ ሀገሮች ያላችሁትን የዝግጅታችንን ተከታታዮችና እዚህም በሰሜን አሜሪካ ሆነ በሌሎች አህጉራት ያላችሁ ባለትዳሮችና ቤተሰብ ያፈራችሁን በሙሉ የሚመለከት የቤት ስራ ልንሰጣችሁ እንፈልጋለን።
የቤት ስራው ቀላል ነው። ጥያቄውን በደንብ አስተውላችሁ ስሙት፣ ወይም ጥያቄውን ከስክሪኑ ላይ ፎቶግራፍ በመውሰድም ቢሆን አስታውሳችሁ እርስ በርስ ተነጋግራችሁ ምላሽ እንድትሰጡን እንፈልጋለን። ጥያቄው እንደዚህ ይላል: በአንድ አስገዳጅ ምክንያት ባልና ሚስት በአካል የተራራቀ ስፍራ ሆነው ለተወሰነ ጊዜ ቢያሳልፉ በትዳራቸውና በቤተሰባቸው ላይ ያለው በጎ ተጽዕኖና መጥፎ ውጤት ምን ሊሆን ይችላል? በእንደዚህ ባለ አኗኗር እናንተን የገጠማችሁን ወይም በሌሎች ባለትዳሮች ያያችሁትን ለትምህርት ይሆናል የምትሉትን በስክሪኑ ላይ በምታዩት ባመቻችሁ መንገድ ላኩልን።
ለባለቤቴ ጊዜን ባለመስጠቴ ወይም ለልጆቼ ጊዜን ባለመስጠቴ ይህ ገጥሞኛል፣ ስለዚህ ከእኔ ተማሩ ብላችሁ ገጠመኞቻችሁን ወይም ትምህርት እንዲሆንን ፈቃደኛ የሆናችሁበትን የምታካፍሉን ትኖሩ ይሆን? ስማችሁንና አድራሻችሁን መጥቀስ አይኖርባችሁም። ብቻ ገጠመኞቻችሁን በስክሪኑ ላይ በምታዩት በፈለጋችሁት መንገድ ላኩልን። ምናልባት በእናንተ ላይ ባለፈው ነገር ብዙዎች ታተርፉ ይሆናል።
እንግዲህ በአደራ ይህንን የቤት ስራ ሰርታችሁ ካመቻችሁ በድምጽ ቀርታችሁ መላክ ትችላላችሁ። አለበለዚያም በኢሜል መላክ ይቻላል። በዚህ በሰጠናችሁ የቤት ስራ ላይ ግን አንድ ትልቅ ማስጠንቀቂያ አለን። ያም ማስጠንቀቂያ ምን መሰላችሁ? ምንም የምትልኩልን መልእክት ብዙዎችን ቢጠቅምም በተቻላችሁ መጠን የምታካፍሉንን ነገር ባልና ሚስት በህይወትና በአንድ ቤት አሁንም ድረስ አብራችሁ እስካላችሁ ድረስ የምትልኩልንን ምስክርነት በሁለታችሁም ዕውቅናና ስምምነት ለመላክ ከተስማማችሁ በኋላ መሆን ይኖርበታል። ይህንን አደራ እናሳስባችኋለን። ታዲያ አደራው ይህ ግዴታ ውስጥ የምትገቡት ከትዳር አጋራችሁ ጋር አሁንም በአንድነት ያላችሁትንና በህይወት አብራችሁ የምትኖሩትን ብቻ የሚመለከት ማሳሰቢያ ነው። ከዛ በተረፈ ይህንን መልእክታችንን እንዳገኛችሁ ዛሬ ነገ ሳትሉ እንድትልኩልን በጌታ ፍቅር እንጠይቃችኋለን።
እንግዲህ ማሳሰቢያችን ግልጽ እንደሚሆንላችሁ ተስፋ እናድርጋለን። አስቀድመን እንደነገርናችሁ ታዲያ የዛሬው ክፍለ ጊዜያችንን የምናስተላልፍላችሁ በልጆቻችን በሁለት ወር አንድ ጊዜ በእንግሊዝኛ ቋንቋ የሚሰራጨው የG&B Youth Ministry ፕሮግራም ነው። በነገራችን ላይ የዛሬውን ዝግጅት እኛም የሰማነው ስራው ካለቀ በኋላ ነው። ለአገልግሎት ቴክሳስ ወደሚባል አንድ የአሜሪካ ግዛት ሄደን እዛ በነበረን ቆይታ ለልጆቻችን ቃለ መጠየቅ ተደርጎላቸው የነበረውን መሰናዶ ነው የምናቀርብላችሁ።
ቃለ መጠየቁን ያደረገላቸው ደግሞ ከዚህ ቀደም በአገልግሎት ጉዞ ተከታታይ ዝግጅታችን እንዳካፈልናችሁ እኔና ጌታያውቃልን ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ ያስተዋወቀን ወንድም ዳንኤል ተስፋይ ነው። ወንድማችን ዳንኤል ተስፋይ በዚህ ፕሮግራማችን ላይ በተከታታይ አብሮን እንዳገለገለ ታስታውሳላችሁ።
አዎ፣ ከዚህ በተጨማሪ ወንድማችን ዳንኤል ተስፋይ የራሱ የቴሌቪዥን አገልግሎት አለው። ይህንን የቴሌቪዥን አገልግሎት ፍሬ ፕሮዳክሽን በሚል ስያሜ በትግርኛ ቋንቋ የሚያሰራጭ ሲሆን በቅርብ ደግሞ በእንግሊዘኛ ቋንቋ በጣም አስተማሪ የሆኑ ዝግጅቶችን እያቀረበ የተለያዩ ጭውውቶችን፣ ድራማዎችን ያካተቱ በጣም ጥሩ የሆነ የትግርኛ ቋንቋ ፕሮግራም አለው። ቤተክርስቲያንን በጣም እየጠቀመ ያለ ወንድማችን ነው። በተጨማሪም ይህን አገልግሎቱን ከባለቤቱና ከልጆቹ ጋር የሚያከናውነው አገልግሎት በመሆኑ በእውነት ትልቅ ስፍራ የሚሰጠው አገልግሎት ነው። ስለዚህ ወንድማችን ዳንኤል ተስፋዬ አገልግሎት በይበልጥ የትግርኛ ቋንቋ ለሚናገሩ ሰዎች እንድታካፍሏቸው በዩቲዩብ ውስጥ ገብታችሁ እንድታዩት እንድትመለከቱት በጣም እናበረታታችኋለን።
ወንድማችን ዳኒ ቃለ መጠየቅ ያደረገው ልጆቻችንን ብቻ አይደለም፣ እኛንም በዝማሬ አገልግሎት ዙሪያ ቃለ መጠየቅ አድርጎልናል። በሌላ ጊዜ በዚህ ፕሮግራማችን ላይ እናካፍላችኋለን። ከዚህ በኋላ እንግዲህ ወንድም ዳንኤል ከሳሌምና ከዮዳኤል ጋር ያደረገውን ቃለ መጠየቅ ተከታተሉ። ከቀሪዎቹ ዝግጅቶቻችን ጋር መልካም ጊዜ ይሁንላችሁ።
So excited to have both of you for this interview. Yes. Thank you for allowing me to interview you. It's an honor, really. I am so much impressed by all things that you're doing, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, right? I see and hear the things that you're doing, have been doing, and if I check the way it's growing real steady and well. So I can imagine how well it will be as you get older and older, so you'll have a lot of fruits. Okay, I know that you have interviewed some youth people.
Yes.
And in life you have encountered many.
Yeah.
Really. Especially the Habesha community, you know a lot. How can we bridge this?
Well, some things that we notice when we interview a lot of the youth is that it's kind of like the same thing, just like looking at it all together. And the problem is it's so like the world is so worldly, you know what I mean? Like they focus more on like earthly things and not like just the spiritual stuff is like just something you should be ashamed of, you know? So it's so hard for us Christians to take pride in Christ and all that, just because that's not the norm, you know? So you try to we just have that thing to be connected, to have that fellowship with people, because that's like, you know, even in the word it says like, you know, be in fellowship. So when we try to be that but we choose the wrong crowd, and then we just try to be equal with everyone else, so that takes us a shift to like the worldly things, you know. And then that's when like all this peer pressure stuff happens, and then just to be with everyone else you try different things that's not good for you, and that is not godly, such as, you know, the same thing like smoke, drink and all that stuff, you know, and just even gossiping, you know, that's not godly, but it's something that's such a norm that people just do it. And you think just because you go and gossip to a girl, you'd be like, hey, you know what she did and who she did it with and all this stuff. You think you have like a connection with that person, and then that person's gonna be like, oh my God, tell me more, and then that's just gonna make you feel good just because you feel like you were wanted. But that's not good. I used to gossip, and sometimes I still gossip, but it's just like because I'm just so used to it, and I feel like it's a normal thing to do, And one time I was gossiping, and then it was like a few years ago, and then someone else was just like, people were just adding on to the information, and then one person just did not want to talk about it, and you could know and she's very into Christ and stuff, so she was like, okay, like, we don't really got to talk about this, and just switched the subject. And I was like, whoa, like, you can do that. And then everyone was just like, okay, and they like went on with it. I'm like, oh, you can totally do that, like, you can switch the conversation and just like not be like that. And like her doing that kind of like showed me like you can actually shine, and we're truly like anomalies, so we don't have to blend in and try to like everybody else, because the word already told us that we're not supposed to be like that. We're supposed to be outcasts. And I think like we should accept the fact that we're going to be like that, so when that happens, we shouldn't feel sad or like bad about ourselves. Because in fact, like now when I am an outcast, like I laugh about it. I'm like, oh my God, this is what's supposed to happen, like, and I actually get happy about that, even though sometimes like it hurts. Like you're just like, okay, like I'm doing something good, when such thing happens. So I think like we should realize that and kind of like put that in our head, so we don't have to feel bad about ourselves. And like the Holy Spirit in us will tell us like, this is not wrong, stop talking about this, or don't do this, or don't go in there and stuff, but we'll still do it just so we can be with the crowd. But just being separate from it, it's so like I used to be influenced by others, and like I just want to go with people and like love everybody and all this stuff. But now I'm just like, okay, like it's okay, I'll just go over here, and somebody will see, somebody who felt like you will see that, oh, that person went over there, I'm gonna follow her. And then you'll start something new, because there's always someone else in the crowd that feels like you, but it's just too scared to do it. So if you just have this courage to actually get up and make a change, like people will like follow you, and you'll start something new. Just having a fellowship in the Christian community is super important. And even in the Christian community, it's so hard to be godly itself, and you like people be taking you to like conferences and stuff like that. That's just super awesome, and I love conferences, and I love getting together with my fellow brother and sister in Christ. And but still sometimes it's super hard to like be godly, just because you've been surrounded in that area of like the earthly things. And so now coming back to conferences and stuff, how are you going to act like the true Christians that you're supposed to be?
Yes.
She did all the heavy lifting. She talked about the spiritual aspects. I want to talk about the cultural as well, and some of the stuff tie back to the spiritual too. So I'll bounce back and forth.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's the generational gap between the Habesha parents, Habesha kids. All of that is just so big that there's a disconnect. And just because they're your seed doesn't mean like you have a connection with them, like physically, but like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, there's a huge disconnect. And I didn't realize this because I had some really like generous parents that took the time to invest in me. Some parents did not. Some parents compare their kids to other kids. There's also the stereotype that you have to be doctor, you have to, like, like they say that to you. And most of the time, the answer to that solution is so basic. It's just like the same thing kids ask, why? Every child asks, why? Why? And the parents don't do that. They don't explain why. Nothing, no explanation, no time to invest in them.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but for me, I'm studying children ministry, and I always knew that I was called into like to serve the Lord. And even my mom knew it herself since I was a kid. She would always tell us like, you're called to do God's work. Like that's just like shoved in my head just because of what she would tell me. And she would always encourage me and be like, oh, you know, like, I don't know. It's just like the languages and the words that you use to your kids are super important. And you just try to say good and healthy and positive things to them so that they can grow and to become the kind of people that you would want them to be. Even when it comes to okay, so this is so silly, but like even movies of like what you watch and stuff, you know, when like the kissing scene comes up and you have to close your eyes or whatever, and it's just silly things like that. And we were not even allowed to, when we were kids, we were not allowed to have to watch, you know, certain shows or certain movies and stuff. But my dad will always do this where, you know, you're like, just know that God is always there and he's watching over you. So even if we're not there, you have to know what you should watch and what you should not watch, you know. So he would give me he would trust me and give me the responsibility of like, oh, it's all in your hands, so you're gonna have to do it yourself. So that's just so heavy, and I'm just like, okay, like I'm not good. I can't disappoint him because he trusts me like with this, you know. So like I would just like be like, I'm gonna watch a horror movie, you know, and I'll just watch it, and then it's just like in my head it's like, no, you know, like he trusts you, so you can't like disappoint him. So then I'll just change it and like watch some animated movie or something like that, you know. So it's just like showing that you trust them will make them not to do what they're not supposed to do, you know. But yeah, continue.
And that trust is never established most of the time. Parents never like took the time to say, sit down, we need to talk, and then just go through life with them. She was actually just saying this like the other day on Thanksgiving. The problem is our dad made us sign a contract saying
He's so smart. He said
that
he didn't make us like, he didn't ask us to be our mentor, but he made us sign.
Because you can change a mentor, right?
Yeah, you can always switch your mentors. But he made us sign a contract saying that we will make him our life coach. You cannot change your life coach. Okay, I was just like, okay, you know, I just.
And it was like Father's Day, so I was like, oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
And so like that just shows how intricate he was with choosing what's good and what's not.
And that shows you like, oh, my dad actually cares enough to like, you know, mentor me and kind of like, you know, walk with me through like this stage of my like foreverhood. That makes sense, you know.
You mentioned about peer pressure, and whatnot. How do they survive this peer pressure? What are the means and methods that helped you? And what else do you see about our generation kids that they have to learn or understand? Because honestly, to be a parent is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So what do you think the kids should do from their end?
It's true that parents are, you know, supposed to like mend us and like build us and all that, but also there's our part as a human of ourselves, that we have to take charge and kind of like stand firm in what we believe in. And because our parent can't be there wherever we are, and so we have to be our own independent self. And even when it comes to, like I said, like peer pressure and stuff, it's just first of all, you got to read the Bible, okay? Because you cannot be educated in anything unless you read the Bible. Literally, that's just like, if something is so silly, or, you know, it's just reading the Bible, sometimes it's like really boring. I used to think it was super boring. I would not want to read it. I would like watch a sermon or something, you know, just to like, so I won't have to read. But bro, like sometimes like I would just like drop everything and just put my mind in like just one chapter or even like 5 or 1 verse and just read it. And it's just like, it's crazy, but this is not even related to like spiritual things, but I would come up with something smart of another thing. You know what I mean? Like my mind would literally be open to
Will
so
help
many
you for
things.
even other
The word is so powerful. Like, it's crazy. And like, even sometimes, like, I'm like, man, I should read more, and then I won't read. And so it's so simple to like kind of like slide away from reading the word, but it's super important. Therefore, with like, when something like peer pressure and like just other people that would come to distract you come up to you, just because you have fed yourself with the word, like, you will be strong in it. And what was that? There's a story like our dad told us with the basket, okay? And it's like full of charcoal and stuff, and so his dad would like tell him to go and put water in that basket and then bring it to him. So he put water, he goes to the well and put water in it, and then come back to him. By the time he's there, it's all empty, it's all gone. He'd be like, no, you gotta do it again. And then he'll go and then put water in the basket again, and by the time he's back, it's all gone, you know, because the basket got holes in it. But like, he does this repeatedly, but by the time he brings back the basket is clean, because the charcoal is all gone. So it's just like that when you read the word. It's like, you think it's nothing because it's just super plain, and you're like, I'm still not getting nothing, you know, like that's what you keep thinking. But you don't know, but something is happening.
It's washing
you know. Yeah, like you think like your sinfulness and all this stuff is still there, and you're just not getting it, but you just keep reading, even if you're not getting what the word is saying and all this stuff. And at the end, you'll see the result, that it has cleaned you and you have gained so much more knowledge, and it's all in your head, but you just never noticed it. That when something happens, you'll like say it. And it has happened to me before, where I still think like, oh, the word is nothing, but like it's too super boring, I'm not understanding what is happening, there's probably a deeper meaning, but I still don't get it, you know. And then something will happen, like some event will happen with me and a bunch of friends, or like, you know, another person, and then all of a sudden I say something, I'm like, I didn't know I know this, you know. Like, I'll bring up a word, and like I'll say a verse or something like that, and it's just like, I don't know where that came from, you know. So you don't know this, but the Holy Spirit is working in you, because we all have the Holy Spirit.
What you're saying so far
Yeah.
is this: to get out from the peer pressure and whatnot, read your Bible on daily basis, feed yourself spiritually. What else do you know?
It's not a one person kind of thing, it's a team thing. And so as far as peer pressure and other stuff is concerned, parents have to be willing to listen to you, and you have to be willing to tell them as well. That's why it's a team thing. There are so many analogies in life. There's the bad apple thing, where bad company corrupts good morals. There's a thermometer. You're affected by your environment. You really gotta tweak who is in your inner circle, because you can't just give access. First off, when you're so reserved and you're mysterious, it just looks cool. Second, when you're like not like open to everyone, you don't owe anybody nothing. You don't owe anybody into your inner circle. You don't. You're not entitled. They're not entitled to be inside of it. You really have to reserve yourself and just deduce who is good and who is not, who is really real and who is fake, who is gonna mess with me and who's gonna trip me up and who's gonna build me. And sometimes some people aren't ready for you yet, you're not ready for them yet, and that's fine. And if a parent says, I don't like them, you can't argue. Ask them why. And parents, I hope you're gonna tell them the reason why you don't like them, or if something is just telling you, like in your spirit, it's just like uncomfortable, then just tell them, I don't think my intuition is telling me don't do this, blah blah blah. It's all your friends. There's always that one bad apple that messes with you. I had a couple messed with me, but didn't let them get to me to a huge catastrophic end result. If you're actually fall into this whatever bad friends, try to tell your parents. Really, that's it feels good, just confessing and just telling them, easing off the burden. And then as well, ask your parents.
Or even if your parents are not, those who
are super open.
Yeah, and would accept your openness. If you have a mentor, someone you trust who's an adult, you can go to them and
somebody you look up to. My parents are super wise, but on some aspects they don't have everything figured out. Nobody does. That's why we're human. But seeing that will kind of help I helped me understand, I might have to figure this out with them, not against them or at them, kind of thing. And so seeing that helped me, and it might help you too with whatever mentor you have or a parent. Just like try to ask them, what did you do at this age? It's actually quite entertaining. I be telling my dad, what did you do for this? What did you do for that? And it's kind of funny, like when they're like telling me like all the stupid mishaps they did as kids. And it's really entertaining and beneficiary for you. And so I'd say that as well for kids too.
Oh, you're mentioning your mom and your dad. Can you briefly tell me the good things that they did in raising you?
The cool thing is, both my mom and dad, you know how different they are. No. You know how different they both are.
They are different.
Completely different
Okay.
in comparison
In
to
what
each
way?
other. You know how my dad is.
Uh-huh.
Super jokester,
Chill.
more laid back, and super just like he'd joke around, and like he was always just the mower mouth, like he just talked, right?
Okay.
My mom is not that. Quiet, very reserved, super selective. She is selectively introverted. That's what it is. And so not only do I have both of that in my genes,
Okay.
I also saw it in action whenever they counseled or like told us. So my dad would kind of have this approach where he'd take like 2 or 3 steps back with a certain topic. He'll be like, yeah, do it. He'll say that. And as soon as I'm about to trip up, he'll grab me right there. That's my dad. My mom, however, no. This will do this to you, and this will do that, and then this, that, those, blah, blah, and she's done. She'll explain it, and she'll tell you, if you do this, you'll do that. It's super, like, tactical, like, very, like, she knows every strategy, method, all that.
Okay.
She'll tell you that. When the two of them are, like, they're bombarding you with ways to, like, not approach a certain thing, it's really good, one, because it's well balanced. It's kind of like it keeps it very center focused. So my dad is more like laid back. He will like step in when necessary, but he's laid back. She will tell you, if you do this, you're gonna trip. She'll point out when you're gonna trip too. You can tell the thing. She has like a sixth sense. Like she'll say, "Who's in the house?" I'm like,
Bro, I live
just
in Minnesota, okay? She's all the way in Chicago, and I'll be doing something and I'll go somewhere where I shouldn't be, and all of a sudden I'll get a text from mom saying, "Where you at?" Driving. Whose car are you driving? Because she knows I don't got a car at that time. And then I'm like, my friend, she's like, you don't need to be out at this time driving at this place, you need to go back, or like I'll be somewhere, or like I'll be thinking of something, or I'll be like in such like deep stress, and she'll be like, how are you, like how's everything, she just knows. And it's crazy, like
that mama bear thing. And so she knows my next move sometimes. She'd be like, why are you in the toilet? I'm like, I'm playing. Chill, mom. Like she knows what I'm about to do next, and it's that crazy. And so that really helped as far as like parenting is concerned.
The fact that my dad is kind of like chill, my mom is very cautious about things, and it's sometimes very helpful too, because when I just want something that I want an answer of a detailed way, or like the spiritual perspective, even though they're both like very into God, it's just like my mom is just more into it, and like the cautious side of what would happen if I take this method, or take this step. So I would always go to my mom for all those things, and she'll tell me, and gladly tell me, because she gets excited when we like come to her for those type of things, for those type of advices. And then for my dad, it's just like when I just want something like that's chill, and just like his side of things, like I would always go to him for those things. And if I want something, if I don't want to stress too much about it, and because I overthink things sometimes, so then I never get to choose the right thing. So I would go to him and just tell him like, hey, this is my problem, like what should I do? I'm like overthinking things. It's like, oh, you could just do this. I'm like, oh, you're right, and it's just like
simple.
Yeah. So just that, like with my decision makings, or like with anything, like they help me like very much in that aspect. And even when it comes to like friends and stuff, like as a kid, my mom was just like, you know, she didn't work, so she stayed at home with us. So she really invested things on us, and we learned so much from her advices. So yeah, she would always tell us stories, and always, okay, so they would pick us up from school, and then we would tell us, like, would ask us, you know, how was school today, you know, and we'd just tell her every story, what happened from first period to last period, and who did what, who said what teachers did what to us, what we learned, and everything. And then from all that, she'll get it, and she'll tell us, oh, for this girl, like this friend, you could do this, or like, I know why she did this to you was because of this and stuff, you know. So like the fact that like parents will ask us like how our day was since we were young, like till today, like we're like open to tell them what has been happening and like what happens to us, and then they'll tell us, oh, this is this because of the past experience that they have had. They're able to give us advices, you know.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Were you not tired of their advices? Could some kids be very tired of
Oh my god, yeah. Mama would repeat so many times.
Okay, so
She would repeat, yeah. We're like, Mom, you already said this before you go. She's like, I'm just repeating it.
Now you are in university and college. Where does it start to be rooted in the Lord?
Like the friends that you choose, and like who you're fellowshipping with, and all that, like really counts onto where you're gonna be headed to. When you're back home with your parents and stuff, like they're watching your every move and who you're friends with and who your friends' parents are and all this stuff. But then now you're in college, so it's like it's all up to you. So you decide who like what your future is gonna be and how you really are, how your life is going to be. Even if it's like friends who like to be in different like bad atmospheres, like I'll be cool with them. They'll be like my colleagues, you know, but we just won't be friends. The youth thing is like, you know, parties and all that. So I'll be friends with those people that like party and all this stuff, but it's just like I just won't go to those parties because I know what would happen. I'm not even gonna like jam to it, so what's the point? Like I'm just gonna stand there. I'm not gonna drink because that's not like
Facts.
That's gonna lead to being drunk, and that's a sin. So why would do that, you know? So it's just like I'm just not gonna enjoy my time, but I'd rather go into like a place where I can hang out with like all my church people or like my Christian people, and we would like just sit at the house or out somewhere, and we just like enjoy time, talk, sing, pray, you know. Or like sometimes we'll like go to we'll be like, let's just go and just like out and let's just walk in the city, and we'll just go and someone will bring a guitar and we'll just stop and we'll just start singing and like praising the Lord. And then and
on the streets.
Yeah, that's what usually happens, especially at conferences. That's what happens. Where instead of just like sitting in the house, we'll just go out and just like start singing and just praising the Lord. And then people would just like look at us, and some people would actually like enjoy it, and they'll just like sit. I remember like there'll be these couples that just like sit and just like listen to us singing and like praising, you know. It's just, that's something that's so good, and that just feeds your spirit itself, you know. And it's just like that actually like hypes me up instead of like going to other places that it's gonna make me feel guilty inside.
I live with my parents, but like I'm
with
very
your
like out though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if you live with your parents, it can be a little different.
Yeah, it's different, but like.
Why did you choose? Why you didn't go far?
Because they feed me and they clothe
really?
me.
Oh my god, yeah, I miss the food.
You miss the food.
It's-
But I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
About,
so friends.
I see that a lot of young people your age are spending a lot of time playing games. How is your time management? How many hours do you
Video games?
Video games.
Man, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like in high school, it's kind of like, oh, when I get to college, I'll be serious. And I just like wasted so much time. But when I like fell in love with making music, like my game is right there. Like I used to have my setup, like my music equipment over here. As soon as I turn, my video games, TV's all right there. That's good. While the thing is editing or like rendering or whatever, I quickly go on this and I just kill time because I have time to spare.
Okay.
I'm learning how to moderate it, but it was so much better. Like, I was a no life, I can say that, because like I was just so indulged like in the thing, and you're not getting, once you finish the game, then what? This is to you guys, like, then what are you gonna do? Like, it's fun, don't get me wrong, it's so fun, but like I don't think it's fun when I finish it right away. If you're like that, kudos to you, but go do something, really, because like the music thing, I can do so much with like it's just so crazy, because like now I'm in college, I'm one step closer to the real life, to the real world, to my own way of like living, and I find the music so much satisfying than playing the video games right now. And right now I kind of finished everything, so I'm kind of like I don't want to see video games right now, but there are moments where I play it too much and I'm just so sick of it, and then there are moments where I do like music and I'm like, I need a break, and then like go to the video games. But it used to be so bad, like my entire summer would be spent like wake up 11 or 12 p.m. I mean p.m.
11,
and then play video games, never leave the bed, never like all that.
It was useless.
It's not worth it.
It's good to play for a little bit.
Yeah, anything in moderation, like I said, too much of anything is not good.
Now going back to Sally, the biggest problem for young ladies would be shopping things. Like, money may not be enough. I'm going to come to you because shoes are a lot for boys too. I want this kind of a shoe. I don't know how you are, but Sally, how is your feeling about money management? Really, how
Yes,
are you,
Sally? Speak about it.
You know,
I'm glad I didn't tell you my question.
Thank you. I like that. Instant reaction.
Instant reaction. Go ahead. What?
see, my dad was very excited when I went off by myself because he's like, now you're gonna learn everything, especially with money. Okay.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, you're just gonna do everything yourself. Well, like, if I actually need money, like, he got me, but it's like I have to do it myself, you know. So I just, I found out that I'm not very good with money.
Yeah, I knew that.
And yeah, and like, okay, I'm bougie. I mean, I didn't know I was bougie, but everyone tells me I'm bougie, so I'm bougie. And I just, like, when you're bougie, you're trying to look good, and you get everything, and like, I see, even if my account is like 100, I'm like, bet, let's go out and let's buy something. And then after I buy things, and then I'll be like, okay, I want to eat now. I look at my account, and it's just like nothing is there. I'm just like, oh no, it's gonna be under 30, and then it's gonna notify my dad that it's under 30, and then Chase, that's how it is. But yeah, money is so, oh my god, it's so bad. And so, especially like in Minnesota, there's no tax on clothes.
Oh.
So you just want to go out and just blow it out. But yeah, I'm not really good.
Are you good how are your shoes in that? Do you have to have Jordan and
Listen, this is my thing with kicks. I think shoes, I came from Ethiopia, so shoes is not a big deal for me. It used to be video games, but when I grew up, I looked at like when you finish a game and you sell it back to them, you pay a $60 game and you get $22 back. I looked at it like, I'm getting finessed, and I hated it. And ever since that day, I was like, I got mad. I never took money as a joke. I'm like, I'm not gonna kill my money mindlessly, I said. And then one time, I forgot I actually I paid something on Apple, and then I got like the notification months or days later. I got so mad, and I called Chase. They took my money. I got like a couple money temporary. They do that thing for you just to help you out and figure it. Because it was like really messing with my phone. And then my uncle heard this. He's like, I like that. You champion your money. He said, if you read this money management book, I will give you $100, he said. And it was a Dave Ramsey book, if you know Dave Ramsey.
I know.
I never play with money. I was like, bet. I read that junk. I was like, I finished it, and like, it helped me understand why the American people, they're not like it's not that they're broke. They use credit and they get in debt. Debt is the big reason why they'll never be millionaires. And it just made me say, I can reach $1 million, really? And so it made me say, okay, bet. Let me do this, let me do that. And so I've recently opened a savings account. But as far as like shoes are concerned, I never really spend on like too much. I go thrift shopping. She taught me how to do it. It's funny, but she'd be spending a lot of money.
I had to go that way.
But I go thrift shopping. Like if another
So
man
good.
to I use that. But I never really, shoes have never been my kryptonite. So I'm
But it is
not, for most guys, yeah.
Seeing your kids continuing what you started, that's an honor. So I feel that they are so blessed that you guys are in this position to continue what they have been doing. Tell me what you feel about it. What made you go in that route, even to be part of the G&B Ministries for the youth? I mean, like, it's a big thing to see you guys working. What does it entail?
Anything that has to do with God is just like normal to us, and it's not like we don't say like no to it, you know, because I know some PK kids, like pastor kids, you know, that kind of don't want to be involved with anything just because, like, I don't know, just in them they just have a different path for them. And like the past, like their dad might be like, you know, be like, go ahead and be my kid and like take over kind of thing. And just some kids are not for that, but I feel like we are, at least like I feel like I am, because that's the path that I'm taking. That's the major that I'm studying. And I tell my major to some adults or some people, they just think like my parents kind of pushed me into ministry, but really they didn't. They were just like, whatever you want, you know. And I know my passion was for kids, and I was gonna study children education and then study like a ministry major to combine it, but then I realized there is an actual major for children ministry, and so I was like, bet, I'm gonna do that, you know.
Okay.
And even like with G&B and stuff, like it was just brought up to us, you know. And like my parents have so much knowledge for over 30 years of ministry, so it was nice to like that they're able to share what they have learned to others. And then the fact that they wanted a children version of it, so then we started a youth ministry, and that was pretty cool as well. My mom would always tell us like, you guys are gonna serve the Lord. And it wasn't just like, okay, yeah, mom, whatever, but like it was in us too, so we were really up for it. But what was hard is the fact that all eyes would be on us, so like whatever we do, it was like, especially with this guy, man. Okay, for me, like I accepted it, like I'm the oldest and like I have to do like, you know, be good and all that. And so like things of what he would post when we were like back then, and how he would wear things and stuff like that, I would be like, my mom used to be on my case, so I would be on his case and be like, you're right, like delete this, like don't do this as your profile picture, like don't da 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 da. And he's like, whatever, I don't care. He would be so mad about it, man. But like I think now, like
I kind of want to shake it up a bit. I'm not doing crazy stuff. It's just there are some super conservative people that are like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I'm just being me. And it's like, it's a thing, but for their sake, I have dropped some stuff.
According to the Bible, that is maturity.
Yeah.
Like, you have to care about the feeling of others.
Not to make them stumble.
Yeah,
I'm really not, and I don't see how that makes people stumble, but
if it
like,
does,
if it does, I never hesitate to do it too.
wonderful.
But for sure, without a doubt, sometimes it's just like, it may be a cultural thing, and I'm like,
Correct.
are y'all serious? But I get that though. I get that for sure.
But were you happy growing up that your parents were in the ministry?
we were
I
pressured
was.
to sing when we were kids.
Yeah, I hated that. I
You
hated
hated
that.
that.
I hated that.
But then we grew into it because I was like, I don't know about you, but I was always scared to go up on stage and
Stage fright,
sing.
ugh.
Oh my god, I remember the first time, first grade, I actually forgot the word. So like now I'm okay with it. But it's just like as kids, like if you just don't want to do it, you just don't want to do it. And so when you're forced into it, that's just like worse. But I knew I had to do it because of who my parents are and how I'm not supposed to like, you know, shame them or whatever. So I had to do it. So I mean, the end product was pretty good. Like I'm confident now.
So a little push is very good.
Yeah,
I
not
think
too much.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I was pushed. I was heavily influenced.
Okay.
I wasn't pushed because when it comes to ministry, I started to take it super seriously, like in very recently, actually.
Even when we were kids,
Even
we
when
would
we
do
were kids.
like a talent show with like our cousins.
Among our cousins,
And then he would just like cry and he would be like,
I
no,
don't want to sing.
I don't. And he had a good voice too, but he would be
Yeah,
like, no,
I hated it.
I'm so bad.
From our parents' album, they were like, Yodi, please sing this. I'm like, no, I don't want to sing this. No. I was like, till I'm tearing up. Like, I hated it. They're like, okay, we'll buy you a game. All right, sign me up. And then I go to the studio, lay down my vocals, boom, I'm done. They did the same thing again, but they're like, we're not going to release this to the public, just for like yourself. They're planting a seed. They're so slick. Oh my gosh. And so I just went back on like her hard drive and I found the song and I was like, hey, this is actually not bad. That's what I said. I'm saying that right now. Like yesterday is when I found this. Really like comfortable with my own voice is the thing. And I'm just letting it out. And that's what I mean by like heavily influenced.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself doing many, different things. Just like, okay, for example, my parents, they're not just singers. They teach, they preach, train, the choir, the worship team, and if it's just like kind of disorganized, they'll like organize it type of thing. And they sometimes like teach the kids, they play with kids, and they have a kids album and all this stuff. It's just like different things. And just like that, like I see myself doing different things. But what I am majoring in and what like my focus on is in children ministry, just because of like the past experiences that I've had. Like I just never had a good Sunday school teacher. Our Sunday school teachers were our parents. Like they're the one that taught us everything about God and all this stuff, and no one else. But some kids, they don't have the opportunity for their parents to teach them about Christ, and so I notice how Sunday school, like the children ministry of most churches, they don't invest so much on them. And like what he said earlier, kids are like sponges. They soak up everything like you tell them, or like what they see and all. And so people like focus more on like the adults, and now they're starting to focus on the youth, but still not the kids.
Never the kids.
And like they're
the next generation.
Yeah.
So if your church crumbles down, that was on them.
Yeah, it's because of the kids.
God willing, carry the torch for them. I also definitely want to, like, I'm seeing the music thing in me like really bloom. And just as far as that's concerned, yes, just the ministry, music, and education.
Is rap the right way to use it for the gospel?
Anything can be used. Anything. The artist gives it religion, in my opinion. Because as far as it's concerned, the gospel is what? God so loved the world. He gave his only son. And sometimes the music doesn't have to be like, it should be for God's glory, of course. And that's the main point. But at the same time, you should be the living, the walking example. You're the ambassador.
Correct.
You are the walking gospel. You're the byproduct of it.
Correct.
So, just your presence sometimes can stir it up enough, is what I'm saying. But at the same time, your music should resonate it.
Exactly. There should be substance
there-
into it, though, because like
My stuff definitely has substance.
it has very good.
For sure. No matter what.
Okay.
And of course, if I'm saying something fun, it's out of satire, or it's out of substance, or it's out of something, a message. There's always a message I'm trying to say.
Okay. Because these
And
days the rap, you cannot
Trash.
even-
Trash.
Oh, I got
The
you.
mainstream, so scary. It makes me want to, it's so scary that I kind of want to give up. It's so discouraging.
Sally, what I noticed is you have cut your hair
Yeah.
very, very short. It was not like this.
But yeah, I cut it because it's just people just know me for my hair, and that's all they talk to me about. People will come up to me, even friends will come up to me and be like, hey Salim, like you look really pretty, how'd you do your hair, I really love it, da da da. And I'll tell them how I did it and give them information. Both guys and girls would ask me about this, and that'll just be the end of the conversation. Like there's nothing more. Like they don't
want her. They want her hair.
Yeah.
Not her.
So that's just it, you know, like I can't talk to them about them because they're already gone. They don't ask me about me. Like I just sometimes like I just feel like am I just like am I stupid? Can you talk to me more things just like rather than just hair, you know? Like I didn't want my identity into being in my hair. Like there's more to me, and like I guess this could be an example. Like you are more than just what people think you are, you know. There's more to you, so just like go ahead and like find your inner beauty and just like shine from that.
Yes, I really want you guys to emphasize how much of an impact you can do before you pass away. You can either sit around, play video games like I did, or you can stand up and do something about it. Get tight with him first, and then ask him, what is my niche? What is my role? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to be so that I can be one of your greatest tools ever? And then just keep asking. You'll take over the world. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, and I plan on accomplishing that with the music, and she does that with her children ministry, and everyone is trying to do that. Everyone in the kingdom, as far as
all
I'm
different, and we have our own different tasks.
We're all
So
different.
finding out what you're called for is the most important thing.
Purpose.
Not to look like somebody else,
Yeah.
but know yourself and be who you are. Anything you want to say just before we wrap up?
Well, kind of like what he said, like, you know, love yourself. And this is the motto that I go to, like, with love God, love yourself, then you're able to love others. Because if you can't love God, you can't love yourself. And if you can't love yourself, you cannot love others. So you can't like mix it around, because that's what most people do. And then, you know, they try to go and love somebody else and try to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, and all this stuff. And you can't love that person unless you love yourself. Like you can't like switch it around. Like you can't make that person love you, and that way you can love yourself. Like there's no such thing. You have to love yourself first before you are able to love someone else. You know? So yeah, that's my motto, which is what I'm transferring it on to you.
I cannot thank you enough. Really, we have learned a lot of things. You have a lot of wisdom, and trust me, as you grow older, there will be much, much more. And truly, I see that 5-10 years from now, you'll be at a higher position to serve this Lord. And again, 10 more years, you will be at a higher level. So I'm glad you started serving Him from childhood. And thank you for your time. I really want to thank you.
በተካፈላችሁት ዝግጅት እንደምትማሩበት ተስፋ እናደርጋለን። ይሄውም ጌታ ቢፈቅድና ብንኖር የሚቀጥለው ሳምንት ከቄስ ትግስቱ ሞገስ ጋር ስለ ቤተሰብና የትዳር ህይወታችን ሰፋ ያለ የውይይት ጊዜ ያደረግነውን እናካፍላችኋለን። በአንድ አስገዳጅ ምክንያት ባልና ሚስት በአካል የተራራቀ ስፍራ ሆነው ለተወሰነ ጊዜ ቢያሳልፉ በትዳራቸውና በቤተሰባቸው ላይ ያለው መጥፎ ውጤት ወይም አለው የምትሉት ጠቀሜታ ምን ሊሆን ይችላል የሚል ሲሆን በእንደዚህ ባለ አኗኗር እናንተን የገጠማችሁን ወይም በሌሎች ባለትዳሮች ያያችሁትን ለትምህርት ይሆናል የምትሉትን በስክሪኑ ላይ በመታየት ባመቻችሁ መንገድ ላኩልን።
በተጨማሪም ለባለቤቴ ጊዜን ባለመስጠቴ ወይም ለልጆቼ ጊዜን ባለመስጠቴ ይህ ገጥሞኛል፣ ስለዚህ ከኔ ተማሩ ብላችሁ ገጠመኞቻችሁን ወይም ትምህርት እንዲሆነን ፈቃደኛ ሆናችሁ የምታካፍሉን ነገር ይኖር ይሆን? ስማችሁና አድራሻችሁን መጥቀስ አያስፈልጋችሁ። ብቻ ገጠመኞቻችሁን በስክሪኑ ላይ በመታየት በፈለጋችሁት መንገድ ላኩልን። ምናልባት በእናንተ ላይ ባለፈው ነገር ብዙዎችን ታተርፉ ይሆናል።
እንግዲህ ጌታ ቢፈቅድ በመጪው ቅዳሜ ይህን ሐሳብ እንወያይበታለን። ለምናደርገው ውይይት እናንተ የምትልኩልን መልእክት ትልቅ ግብአት ስለሚሆነን በንቃት እንድትሳተፉ እናበረታታችኋለን። አብራችሁን ስለምትሰሩም ከወዲሁ ጌታ ይባርካችሁ ልንላችሁም እንፈልጋለን።
እንግዲህ እስካሁን ስለነበረን ጊዜ እግዚአብሔር እናመሰግናለን። በሚቀጥለው ሳምንት እናንተም የቤት ስራችሁን ሰርታችሁ እኛም ደግሞ ዝግጅቱን ተዘጋጅተን እንጠብቃችኋለን። መልካም ሳምንት። ጌታ ከሁላችንም ጋር ይሁን።